on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Welcome to episode number 1185. That's right, episode number 1185 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from Red Morton Park, where it is raining, it's sprinkling, it's really cold. This is day 17, by the way, of the GNA Positivity Challenge. And today we're going to be talking about the latest updates on my case. Yes, it's sprinkling right now, and it's cold. It's 53 degrees. And see, I got my spider gloves on. Hey, baby, see this? It's going to be backwards because YouTube still hasn't fixed the flipped image issue when using the front-facing camera. But I got my gloves on. Hey, babe, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Happy Monday, baby. Happy Monday to you. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally is in the house. She's probably really happy to have my gloves on. I don't want my fingers to freeze. Well, they wouldn't freeze at 53 degrees. It'd be really cold. It'd be hard to do the show. First time I've used my gloves in probably well over 6 months. I guess the winter season is finally here, huh? I hope you've all had a great day. It's been a great day for me. Hey, tagged me for clout. GLM's in the house. How are you doing? Hey, GLM, let me get some updates, because I have updates regarding my case here today. It's colder than that here, I'm sure. It doesn't get really that cold here in California, in the Bay Area. This is cold for us. Welcome to the show, Gordo. Great to see you here. I still need to unblock your account. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I've had so many things to do, and I will get to it. I promise you. Just keep using that account. I've had so much to do, and I'm really overwhelmed, but I will get to it, and I apologize again. But anyway, GLM, I'm glad you're here because are you here? You're not just saying hello and then jetting, right? Taking off, right? Hey, Gordo's lady. I reminded him twice. She did. It's been windy and rainy for days. It's all good. The show must go on, right, GLM? The show must go on. I mean, come rain, come shine, right? Hot or cold, doesn't matter. Put your gloves on, put a jacket on, get out there and smell the fresh air, right? Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. It's great to see you here. It's 33 there. That's pretty cold. It's gotten that cold here, but rarely does it get into the lower 30s. Now, 32 degrees is freezing. That's when you're going to see a lot of black ice on the road. That's when you're going to see snow at that level. That doesn't happen here in the Bay Area really that much. I mean, we have gotten down to the low 30s, but typically, and we've gotten to the 20s, but it doesn't snow here. But yes, it'll freeze below 32. It will. 56 is cold here. Well, I mean, I think 56 is cold anywhere. It's just that some people, depending on where they live, are used to having much colder weather, so their bodies adjust to it. Here in the Bay Area, we're used to having on average, 70, 72, 74 degree weather all year round. And so when it starts to get cold, we're like, I'm trying to watch my language for the time being. There's a reason for that. We just don't tolerate it that well. Let's use more professional lingo. GLM, an update for you regarding your case with that other lady that I've been in litigation with before, right? So, and it's funny how that lady on her community wall referred to me as Perry Mason. Wow, what a freaking honor. I gotta tell you, if someone even sarcastically refers to me as Perry Mason, or wannabe Perry Mason, right? What was the theme song? Perry Mason. That's that's a freaking honor, I gotta tell you. The fact that I'm so constantly on these people's minds when all I want them to do is just, stop the defamation, stop the harassment, stop this smear campaign that they've been doing to me for years, right? That's why we're in court, right? But anyway, GLM, regarding your case. So apparently, the woman that is suing you in her state of Florida, and you're here in California, apparently, I believe and I looked at the docket, she got her summons approved, right? So now she has 120 days to serve you. That is true. She was trying to, I know they use me for content because that's what their audience wants, right? But, she was trying to say, before Perry Mason, the wannabe Perry Mason steps in and says otherwise, yes, you have 120 days to serve her. Which, according to her, you don't have her correct address. And even if you serve her, I mean, you have to find her first. She's not trying to avoid service, but even if you serve her, that doesn't mean your case is valid. In my opinion, from what I've seen, your case is procedurally flawed, unlike anything I've seen. Florida has no jurisdiction over somebody in California. And the long arm statute that you're talking about doesn't apply to GLM because she didn't harm you in your state of Florida. That never happened, for Christ's sake. That never happened. This is going to be... Here's the thing, GLM. This is just a nickel's worth of free advice. Kind of like Mr. Strickland told Marty in Back to the Future. Here's a nickel's worth of free advice, right? The moment that you get served, you file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. Now, I'm sure your attorney will handle that because, GLM, let's speak respectfully. You come from a prominent family. You have a prominent mother. And I'm not saying, you're prominent too, don't get me wrong. But, you've got an attorney on hand, and it's all good. Let them handle that, right? Eli, don't laugh at that. I'm not going to say that, GLM. But I didn't. I know you're messing with me. I will not provide my address to anyone on YouTube, but I will meet at that address for any service. Okay, fantastic. I mean, you can give her a place to serve you. That's fine. Oh, you can have an agent. She can serve your attorney. Do you know that she can serve your attorney and all you got to do is give her your attorney's information? And here's the thing, GLM. I will do this as soon as possible because, in my opinion, she's doing this just for content. She needs something to fill the Eli void because, in my case right now, with the defendant, I've got them all boxed in legally. And I'm just saying this for educational purposes. They're legally boxed in. Like, there's nowhere left for them to go with this regarding me. So now, you've become the new court target. In my opinion, you've become the new court target. God, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. That's you. That's you, babe. That's you, Dawn. Right? Sugar pie, honey bunch. That's the name of the song. I was not implying to any third party, in my opinion, that's been amplifying defamatory statements about me on YouTube. Those are lyrics in the song, right? Sugar pie, honey bunch, right? I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Oh, I'm in a great mood today. I'm in the mood for love. My woman loves it when I'm in a good mood. She loves it when I'm happy, right? My woman loves it when I'm happy and when I'm not triggered. So do I. Excellent singing, Eli. Absolutely. I'll give you a little entertainment, GLM. But here's the thing. That case is procedurally flawed. She knows it. She knows there's no jurisdiction over you. She knows she can't request injunctive relief in a small claims hearing. Small claims is simply for monetary losses. I love it, lady says respectfully, maturely, professionally. This is all natural, GLM. I haven't smoked anything. Tia, oh, okay, I'm interested in that contest. It is very interesting, and like I said, I don't know what to believe. Watching the videos is informative. We started putting them in the playlist now. I have more content. Tia currently working on part 3 of the Haunted Royalty. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, Gordo. Wonderful. Secondhand GLM. Okay, okay. Anyway, so I have up-to-the-minute updates regarding my case. We've talked about the GLM thing. You know, it is what it is, right? Now, let's go back to my case here, okay? My case with the defendant here. Go back and watch the last several videos. It'll catch you up on what's going on. I'm not going to share the entire backstory, but I'm suing this other YouTuber that's been orchestrating and has run a 6+ year smear campaign on me, primarily using defamation, slander, and libel to lead his audience to believe that I'm a criminal, which, you know, gets that audience of people that don't like me to support him, donate to him, etc., right? And, you know, right now, you know, we're waiting for the January 9th motion to dismiss / anti-slap hearing. That's what he filed. He's claiming that my case is not valid, and also he's claiming that I'm trying to silence his freedom of speech. I would never do that to anyone. I don't want my freedom of speech silenced. Why would I try to silence someone else's? I don't care how often people insult me, talk smack about me, but if you accuse me and publicly state criminal statements about me that aren't true, and you state them as facts to your audience, then that's defamation per se. And that hurts someone's reputation. And at the level that he's done it, it has tremendously hurt me and hurt us here at the GNA. All of us, you know, grow our channels and move our vision forward. That's why we're in court to address this activity, because over the years, I've tried to get this defendant to stop many, many times. And he basically usually tells me just to shove it up my rear end, right? So anyway, okay, fine. You know, I get the hint, right? Shove it up my rear end, okay. Well, that's why you're in court. That's why you're in court, right? And you can't tell the judge. You can't tell the judge to shove it up, you know, her rear end. You can't do that. You can tell me that. Sure, that's insulting. It's not defamatory. But all I did was ask this person to stop, and he just doesn't stop. He keeps amping things up. Up to this minute. With the exception of today, he took today off, and he's doing other things. But up until yesterday, and even on a live stream that he did this past Friday, he massively continued the smear campaign and the slander and libel and all that, you know, defamation, harassment. It's just unbelievable, right? In the middle of a litigation of a major circuit civil case, he doesn't only not de-escalate, especially after I put him on notice on October 22nd with a formal court filing, right? And I emailed him, then I filed it with the court, right? He not only doesn't de-escalate, he amps it up even more. And then he wonders how the court is going to see that, right? Now, some interesting things transpired yesterday and the day before, right? And I was talking about them. And so I look at the comments. I saw the comments, of the people under his community posts, the supposed Eli haters and stuff, right? And a lot of people were saying, and even he made a posting saying that I'm stupid for falling for a troll or this and that, right? I never said that it wasn't a troll. I never said that that email I received 2 days ago was from a legitimate source, right? I said it could be true, but more than likely it's not. There's a possibility, right? Now, again today, I've actually done some more research. I've done some more digging. And I've run deep analysis through ChatGPT. ChatGPT can take tonality of other people's regular postings and match it up to their writing style and tonality of their writing style almost perfectly, right? It's not a guarantee, but it's highly accurate, right? Now, let me make it very clear here. I am not accusing anyone of anything. Yeah, Tia, I'm going to ask you, and I asked other people behind the scenes, I don't want any names mentioned, who you think this is or anything like that. I want to share the facts. I'm only sharing that. You have the right to say what you want to say. I'm just saying I'm personally requesting that no names are put out there, right? So, because there's a point to this. There's a point to this, and I don't want people getting upset. Okay, I've already talked to ODM behind the scenes. He understands. Now I'm going to publicly put it out there so people understand. Okay. So after a lot of analysis regarding an email I first received saying that the Discord behind the scenes, somebody connected the defendant with a college professor, and now the college professor's class is going to be using both the winter and spring semesters to analyze this case as their supposed case study, right? Now, I never said 100% that was true. I said there's a possibility it could be true because anything is possible. Unless you can rule something out completely as impossible, anything is possible. Even a troll can say something right at times, right? Okay? I said more than likely it's just trolling, right? Or to get a reaction. Well, after my analysis and further thought about the situation, and running it through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me with 90% certainty who it feels it is. And I'm not going to mention that here, right? I realized that this whole thing, that email was invalid. Now, let me make something clear here. I'm not here to harm anyone. I'm not here to embarrass anyone, regarding past or present things. What's done is done. It's time to move on and do the right thing. But a lot of people in this group, the ones that even know that I haven't harmed anyone, the ones that know I'm completely in the right here regarding what the defendant has done to me. Some people that even know I'm right and the defendant is wrong are still supporting the defendant. And I believe those people are supporting the defendant because they fear the defendant will extremely emotionally overreact and publicly attack them if they do otherwise or if they do the right thing. I can understand that. Does that make the situation right still? No. Because it's almost like someone has a hold on these people. It's like, in my opinion, it's almost like the defendant has a hold on these people. And if they go against them, even if they know that the defendant is completely wrong, the defendant will lash out. He will get extremely emotionally overreactive on a stream, and he will do some nasty things to these people. That's what he's done before. There's plenty of proof of that. Everyone knows that, right? So, and I'm sure the person that wrote that is going to understand that I know who wrote it. And the person that I feel wrote it, I'm not going to mention it. It doesn't matter. This is just for example purposes, right? Okay? If they publicly put anything out regarding this, saying that, oh, it's Eli thinks this is me, but I didn't do it, that's basically saying I did it. So they're not going to do that, right? They're not going to do that, right? And that's a smart thing, because that's a telltale sign, right? But I'm not here to expose anything or anyone. What I'm here to say is that there's a reason why I feel that email was sent. And I don't feel that email was necessarily sent with any malice intent. I think that email was sent because the person that sent it feels the need to continue to support the defendant, even though they themselves know the defendant's activities are extremely wrong. At the same time, the person that I feel, in my opinion, and it's not a fact, I don't know for a fact, but the person that I feel sent that email is also conflicted and just wants to be friends with everyone and just wants everyone to get along. Well, that would be ideally the right thing, and that would be ideally the nice thing. But we all know, including you, that the defendant is extremely emotionally overreactive. He's extremely unreasonable. He's never been reasonable. His pattern of behavior has been the same exact way for the last 8 years plus, right? And many of us have tried to be reasonable with him, and you yourself know that that's not possible, right? And that's why we're in court. If he was reasonable, we could have settled this out of court, right? But you yourself know he's not reasonable. You're conflicted, right? So this person is conflicted. I understand it. I'm going to publicly say, and whether people like it or not, it's the truth. I'm going to publicly say that the person that I highly assume, and this is just my opinion because I don't have proof, but the person that I highly assume sent that email is not trying to cause any issues. I repeat, that person is not trying to cause any issues. Okay? Now, that makes it appear differently to people, right? It also makes it appear differently to the defendant that this particular person is still technically a friend to the defendant, which I believe this person still is a friend of the defendant. But just because this person is a friend of the defendant doesn't mean they agree with a lot of the things the defendant has done. But again, you can't call out this defendant even as a close friend and tell them what you're doing is wrong, because he'll lash out and he will have a temper tantrum live on the air and basically publicly blast whoever goes at him, because he never wants to be held accountable for his actions. He's never learned responsibility. He's never accepted responsibility for anything. And those are just facts. People have seen that, including the person that I feel wrote this email. Again, I don't feel they wrote the email with malice intent. I think they knew I would figure out it was them. Huh, okay. Well, Mr. Louisiana Man, if you want to come out here and pretend to be someone else that's actually live on a non-drama stream right now, the only person it could be right now is you. I'm ready for January 9th, and I'm ready for the video to be recorded. I'm also ready for you to get a copy of it from one of your family members, probably free of charge, and put it out on YouTube. Hey, I mean, honestly, what's the problem with that? You want to come? Why do you want to come in here and troll me and tell me something I already know is going to happen that I actually have no problem with? Why would I not want people to see what I've been through and how it was resolved? Why would I not want people to see the behavior of someone that's been defaming me and smearing me and harassing me and stalking me all over this platform for the last 6 to 8 years, and then a court video of his behavior in court and being held accountable? I have no problem with that. So thank you for coming over here and making me aware and reaffirming to me that once that hearing happens, you will immediately get the video and publish it on YouTube. And quite frankly, that's up to you. Whether you do that or not, I don't know whether it's legal or not. Maybe it is. It's a public thing. But regardless, I'm not going to argue it because, I don't care if you put that out. That's only going to further solidify my case, my situation, right? And if you're trying to come in here and scare me to lead me to believe that I'm going to lose that hearing, then nice try. It's all good. Thank you for making your appearance. My lovely lady Dawn and my lovely lady Dawn took care of you, and GLM took care of someone else. I guess that was held for review. So again, the person that sent me that email, I firmly believe that they want to be on the right side of things, but appearing like they're on the right side of things publicly on YouTube would tremendously affect them. And quite frankly, I don't want to see anyone attacked by the defendant, even people in his own group. Here's, in my opinion, here's how out of control I feel the defendant's emotional state is, in my opinion, is that he will quickly turn on his own people if they try to help him out and realize that what he's doing is wrong. So he's actually set up his audience in a way to where they know if they disagree with him on anything, that they're gone. So his audience just automatically, in my opinion, goes along with everything. That is their problem. You're saying that the audience just goes along with everything, right? Tia, their audience just, even though they know he's wrong, like any normal human being would realize this is wrong. The people that go along with it are the people that don't want to be publicly attacked. Okay, Louisiana man, so JB is going to be like Mike Tyson, and I'm going to be like Glass Joe. Okay, I'd like to see that. You know, like I said, Louisiana man, if you need to come here and blow off some steam, just understand, us acknowledging you is basically our way of saying, hey, we're here to help you. We understand that you're struggling internally. You're struggling with your emotional self-control, right? You're struggling with self-love, self-worth, right? And so coming here and blowing off some steam, right, it helps you feel better. So in essence, you're giving us credit without even realizing it for helping you and allowing you to blow off that steam, right? Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. So now, let me talk about something else here. A lot of people continue to publicly state that there's not a judge on the planet that would award a court-ordered subpoena to Google, YouTube, and other platforms to unmask sock accounts. You folks all know that's absolutely false. It's absolutely false. They're not easy to get, but you can get them if you have a reason to get them. And I have plenty of reason and proof that I feel will maximize my chances of Judge Stacy setting a court order in motion regarding regarding subpoenas to Google, YouTube, Discord, Gmail, other platforms, right? So, the people that are out there saying that this is impossible and a judge would never award that, that's the purpose of going to court regarding these things, is to find out who's doing it to you through the legal channels and to stop it legally. So the bottom line is, yeah, just keep banning Louisiana, man. It's just the same repetitive stuff. I've already given him enough love for the day, so the rest of it is just repetitive, right? But anyway, so yeah, a lot of people have been questioning the court-ordered subpoenas. The more and more you talk about it, shows me the more and more that you're scared of being unmasked. That's how I interpret it. That's how any normal human being would interpret it. And if you want to interpret it otherwise, that's all good. Whatever is court-ordered by Judge Stacy throughout this case, then we'll revisit that at that time, right? But in the meantime, okay? In the meantime, let's talk about something else that these people have been spreading as flat-out lies and rumors out there, okay? And these are by actually known people that I actually have these people's full names and addresses because they actually have used their real name on YouTube, right? I'm not going to mention their names. They are people that constantly amplify through the comment sections of the defendant's postings by saying that there is proof. There's a document proving that Eli embezzled money. There's a document proving that on the court docket. That's an absolute flat-out lie. The document they're referring to is someone made a statement in a recent filing of the defendants. And in that document, they stated, under penalty of perjury, but they stated it in a way that doesn't hold them really accountable to the penalty of perjury. Hold on a second. In the document, the person stated, to the best of my knowledge and belief, something of that sort, right? To the best of my knowledge and belief, right? That's not a confident way of saying, Eli told me this verbatim on this date and time or around this period of time, right? That document, in my opinion, was filed in that way to basically tell the court that I believe I heard this. I can't remember exactly, but I believe I remember Eli telling me something like this. Well, here's the thing. The person that wrote that and myself and everyone else knows that I never had that conversation with that person. That never happened, right? And why do I feel that document was submitted? Again, because the person that submitted it, I feels that, she has to have loyalty to the defendant, or the defendant could publicly attack her. And I don't want that happening to her or anyone else. I don't. But if people are going to publicly state that there's a court document on the docket stating and proving that I embezzled, that's a statement of somebody saying that, in other words, they think I told them something like that, 5 years ago, right? when we used to be friends, right? And I filed a motion to strike that filing a lot with many other filings, right? So to the people out there that are trying to say that that is a document proving that I embezzled, it's not. It never happened. And it goes more to show, in my opinion, hold on. You know what? Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. This is all ridiculous, okay? The bottom line is the people in the chats are trying to use that filing to say I definitively did something that never ever happened. It never existed. It never happened. And I'm going to tell you something publicly right now. Here is the thing. There are many people that now the company I used to sell insurance for has been sold. It was sold several years ago, shortly after I resigned my contract with them. I sold my book of business. They sold the company. But here's the thing. The owners of the business are still around. And the owners of the business, if I need to get a statement from them or subpoena them to testify that never happened, right? There are many employees. All the employees, actually, they knew me there. So think about it this way. If you're going to accuse me of something that never happened in the chat, right? All because this statement was filed by somebody saying that to the best of their knowledge and belief, this is what they recall, right? You better have some more proof than that, because there is no proof. The proof simply does not exist because it never happened, right? And again, if I have to get every employee and the owners to write me statements or to testify on this, I will do that. Because I'm tired of people making things up because the defendant has been slandering me for years and smearing me for years. And that's one way to keep the active audience engaged. That's absolutely not cool. I think what this all boils down to, and it's not just one person, it's many people that are friends with the defendant. I think many people that are friends with the defendant are afraid to call him out on the truth and afraid to stop being fully supported, just stop supporting him because they fear he's going to go off on them publicly. Give me a second. So listen, Louisiana man, you keep asking dumb questions. I've already answered those questions. And I'm going to tell you straight up right now, so that way you can drop the hogwash and go and spend some time with your wife for once. In my opinion, you're not doing that. I'll say this in general because it's not just one person. This is how the defendant works. He has lots of close friends from this group that he talks to constantly through Discord and other internet means of communication. If any of those people disagree with him on anything, even if those people believe he's doing something wrong, and they're trying to correct him to help him from further self-destructing in real time, he will tell those people, his own friends, to F off and mind your own business. If you don't believe me, you're not a real friend. That's what those people fear. That's your answer, Louisiana man. I'm not going to bat for any one particular person. I'm going to bat for anyone that, in my opinion, has been psychologically manipulated by the defendant, in my opinion. And that's what he does. Every time I share the truth of the matters here regarding our case or other aspects in a respectful way, he does a stream and emotionally reacts. It's the same way he would treat these people. So listen, Louisiana man, you can keep trolling me all you want. And I'm not favoring one person. This is not just about one person, Louisiana man. This is about anyone that even rightfully disagrees regarding anything that he says or does, even if they're trying to be a good friend to try to protect him from further damaging himself and creating more damage to himself regarding things, including this case. He doesn't want anyone even giving him any constructive criticism, or constructive feedback is a better way to put it, right? So you can come on in here, Louisiana man, and try to say, how come you always take the side of that one person and you let everyone else off the hook? No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That person knows that's not what it is. That person also knows there are more people than just them that are fearing retaliation from the defendant if they stand up to him, even in a friendly way to try to help him, right? It's not all the defendant's fault. Many have walked away and never looked back. Well, Tia, I will agree with you partially on that, and partially I'll disagree. You have to look at the defendant's behavior for the last, you've known him for 2-3 years. I've known him for 8 years. His behavior has never changed. Okay? If anyone that's supporting him challenges him in any way, shape, or form, even if he's wrong, and the people that are challenging him that are supposedly his friend, they try to tell him differently than what he wants to hear to try to help him, he'll say F you. And then if they try to leave, then he goes on a smear campaign on them. I've seen this guy over the years, and I've got videos in the archives if I have to pull this out, which I hope is not necessary because our case has nothing to do with that. But if he tries to accuse me this never happened, I have all the proof. He smeared so many people on this platform after people walked away because they just didn't want to deal with the stupid drama shit anymore, right? And he publicly humiliated them, publicly said things that weren't true about them, right? And that's why Granny's Watching Jess went and got a restraining order, because he was doing that to her. Some of them may be cowardice and afraid of him attacking for blackmailing them with things that he has on them. But bottom line, a lot of them enjoy the drama and get off of it. No, you're right about that. And listen, I don't have any proof. Anything is possible. Like I said yesterday, Odian, anything is possible. Blackmail could be a possibility. Do I think in most of these cases it involves blackmail? No, I don't think it, in my opinion, I don't think it involves blackmail. It involves the way that the defendant reacts when anyone doesn't want to be his friend anymore, meaning that if people just want to walk away because they don't want to be a part of this crazy drama, right? He flips out and attacks them, right? Or if any one of his friends tries to give him some good, solid advice, right, that goes against what he's saying or thinking, he'll publicly shun them. And then if those people end up leaving after that because they feel disrespected and unappreciated, then he'll attack them. Just keep banning that guy. There's no need to address the same thing over and over again. He's mad because he's not able to get to me. He's not able to scare me. You don't scare me, man. I'm not scared by any of you. This is not about being scared. This is about reputational harm and clearing up things about me that are not true, simply not true, that one group of people led by the defendant have wanted to keep going for years because that's been the fuel of their audience, that drives their audience engagement, live stream participation, and donations. That's been their fuel for years. That's what they've been trying to protect for years. Now, most of them walked away. The only one pretty much left right now is the defendant that still does it using my content and defamatory stuff about me, right? Most other people have walked away, or at least are not doing it nearly as much or at the level that they were doing it. Good for you, Gordo. It's a stressful place to be, in my opinion. I have not been part of this channel for well over 18 months now. No, I know, Gordo, and you know what? God bless you. And you know, it just goes to show that when people start to see the true colors of what that group has been doing, it's all been defamation for dollars. All it boils down to is defamation for dollars, right? So let me just say this, because I'm going to go to the parking lot after this. It totally stopped raining. It's clear now. You were right, babe. I didn't see the weather report today. I took your word that it was going to stop raining. And it was still sprinkling a little bit on the way here and when I started, but now it's completely stopped. Here's the thing, okay? To everyone in that audience over there, what are you afraid of? You're afraid of the defendant lashing out, possibly, doing some, not so nice things on a live stream, right? I'm not going to say what those things are that I think he would do, okay? Because I'm not here to accuse him or anyone of anything, right? But I think that's what this group of people fears. Additionally, this group of people, they're very similar to the defendant. They all have mental and emotional issues, in my opinion. They're all lonely people. They get a lot of their validation from their internet audience. And when they don't get it, it affects them. It's not illegal to mention a judge's name, a public judge's name regarding the public case. Get out of here and never come back. If it was illegal to mention a judge's name, they would never release videos and audios of courtrooms where they clearly show the judge's name on the placard on the judge's bench, and also through the audio. So, honestly, you don't scare me. Stupid things are just, it's not even funny to me because it's just stupid, right? ODN, it's very obvious that's Louisiana Man. You do know that, right? That's fine. We're going to be handling Louisiana Man separately. No, it's one person. It's Louisiana Man. I'm not going to mention his name. No, it's not her. ODN, respectfully speaking, if I thought it was her, I would say it. It's not her. It's not her. For the most part, she's staying out of this. Okay? I know you've had past dealings with her and other people in the group, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that. What I'm saying is, it's not her. It's Louisiana man. Everybody knows that. Even the defendant, who doesn't like me, well, for many reasons besides this case, right? Even the defendant knows it's Louisiana man. I mean, come on, man. I firmly believe that person really, what that person really wants is peace amongst all of us. That would be nice. Ideally, that would be nice. In the perfect world, that would be nice. We've tried to achieve that many times. The defendant has never been reasonable. And so, I mean, there's nothing to try to fix when one side is completely unreasonable. That's the bottom line. Period. End of story. That's all it boils down to. A lot of people are thinking I'm like trying to favor certain people from the other side. I'm not favoring anyone. I'm just calling it as I see it. That's all I've ever done. Whether you're on my side, the other side, neutral, doesn't matter who you are. I'm a fair broker. Like Chris Cuomo says on News Nation. I'm what you call a fair broker. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Again, right is right and wrong is wrong. And even if somebody is right or partially right, or I feel their intentions are primarily otherwise than they appear, I'm going to state what I feel is going on. That doesn't excuse any behavior, but you got to understand the psychological aspect of certain people's involvement, or what are they truly trying to protect? They don't want to be attacked by the defendant. And here's the thing, ODN. These people have been attacked by the defendant before. There are videos of the defendant attacking even the person that you think it is and many other people. So I can't, listen, I got to be a fair broker. I can't blame anyone in that scenario. There's more worrying things going on of what I heard earlier today. Russia attacked Poland. I didn't hear that. I'll watch Cuomo tonight, and we'll see. That's your opinion, Tia. And I'm not saying that, it's about intentions here. This is about performance on YouTube. This is about performance on YouTube and continuing to support someone that if anyone stops supporting them, he would attack them. And he's attacked these people before. Listen, I'm not trying to take anyone's side. I'm looking at this from a very logical and fair and reasonable standpoint, a very unbiased standpoint. I come from an unbiased place. Okay? If I feel anyone is extremely 100% wrong about everything, I'll call it out. But when I think there's something else going on, I'm going to share that too. It doesn't mean that I agree with what some of these people have done in the past. It's just saying this is why I feel they're doing what they're doing. There's a different underlying reason for it. That's all. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, right? I'll tell you this, Tia, and ODN, and Don, anyone else that's here. I honestly feel a lot of these people, if they didn't fear the defendant would attack them, they would probably come here and support us. Put a 1 in the chat if you firmly believe that a lot of the people that are following the defendant probably would want to come over here and support us because they're tired of that, but they don't do it because they fear repercussion and being publicly attacked and all that. My lady Dawn says 1. Put a 1 in the chat because That's all I'm saying here. I'm not taking anyone's side, and I'm not saying that certain people on the other side get a free pass. I'm saying that some people, they have a different agenda, and their agenda is not necessarily to harm anyone. But even though it may appear that way, yeah, the GNA executive team doesn't see it that way. Nice try. To the GNA executive team, let me ask you, do you believe anything that that troll, the Louisiana man, is saying? Have you folks lost respect for me? Put a 1 in the chat if you have respect for me. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. And if you come in here and troll and say that, my lady says F no. Put a 1 in the chat if you have respect for me. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Let's put it out there publicly. And you don't have to lie. It's all good. ODN, Tia, Don, 1, right? See, the executive team over here, Louisiana man, and Don said it again, mad respect. Thank you, bald tires in the rain. A lot of people think that you're ODN and you're not. You're your own self. Bald tires in the rain is not ODN. They're friends with ODN privately, but it's not ODN. Bald tires in the rain. You said mad respect. What? Can you be more specific? I'm just curious, because we didn't always see eye to eye. But what turned it around? That's a homie. I play. You play like online games with. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, no. I know you're good friends, and thank you for making me aware of that. And I unblocked them, and it's all good. I'm just curious to know. We're going to walk around another maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. The fact that you are going toe-to-toe with that moron, well, when you say toe-to-toe, I'm curious to know what you mean by that. No offense. I'm just curious, because I'm not. I think I know what you meant. I think you meant this. It's not that I'm necessarily going toe-to-toe with him. It's the fact that I'm standing up for my rights. I'm standing up to someone that's been smearing me and slandering me for years, and I'm fighting for my reputation that should have never been tarnished. You are not letting him mess with you. No. That's why we're in court. And I've tried many times over the years to resolve this out of court. And every time he tried to make deals that favored him. I could still use your content, this and that, blah, blah, blah. What kind of a deal is that? And there are no deals to be made with him. You don't make deals with a guy like that. The deals with him are only one way, his way or nothing, right? That's why with someone like him, you have to go to court. The only way you're going to get justice and relief is by going to court. That's why we're in court. Odin and I have gamed together for years. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's great to have you around here. I'm sorry about the past misunderstandings. Bald tires in the rain. But any friend of ODN's is a friend of mine automatically, So I know ODN doesn't hang around with, shady types of people, right? No worries. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. So, yeah. I got to tell you, just looking back at that Friday stream the defendant did, and using a 6-year-old clip taken out of context. I talked about this the other day. I'm just going to briefly recap it, right? And using that clip that doesn't even involve him, has nothing to do with him, never had anything to do with him besides him, using that as a tool to try to continue to smear me, right? Right? That's all it was. You're a good communicator, bro. No, I think you are ball tires in the rain. I've seen your postings, or I've seen your comments elsewhere. You're doing great, man. Don't ever sell yourself short, man. You're all good. You're all good. Let's go to the other side real quick and check out any progress over there. Yeah, I just, the more and more I think about it and look back at that stream, like I can't even believe how he would not only double down or triple down, he quadrupled down on that stream. And this all after being on notice that the things he's saying about me are false statements as facts. Put him on notice. I asked him to correct the record. And he basically has amped it up ever since. And he keeps amping it up. Right? And then on that stream, again, he's encouraging me. He's going to keep playing that embezzlement video and publicly encouraging me to keep filing. He's going to keep doing this so I can keep filing. And to the people that are friends with this guy, if anyone else besides him was doing this, you would be like, it's the dumbest thing anyone could do, especially as a defendant in a circuit civil case. But because it's me, and because you fear retaliation from him if you tell him the truth that it's stupid, you basically flip it and try to make it seem like I'm the problem when you know it's him, right? And it's very, very obvious to people outside of this group. And I want to be led to believe that everyone in this group is not as dumb as they're acting. I want to believe that these people are just going along with what the defendant says because they fear retaliation or repercussion. They know how emotionally reactive he is. He cannot control himself. He can't control himself even in a courtroom environment. He even goes off on judges in courtrooms, and that's a fact because he showed that in the last case. And then even people that are close to him have told him or have publicly stated in the past that he's not good in court. I wonder why. Because he lacks emotional self-control? Because he's so entitled, in my opinion, that he feels that the whole world owes him everything? He makes a community posting, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and he's saying that something to the extent of that it's great in this country, you can basically, say some not so nice or nasty things about people, and it still wouldn't be considered defamation. Quadrupling down once again. Like, wow, I mean, you want to talk about malicious. Part of a circuit civil case, part of a civil matter involves malicious situations. Malicious prosecution, one of them. The stalking case tried to get on me. That was dismissed for insufficient evidence. But other things that are done with malicious intent and a reckless disregard for the truth. The bottom line is again, what this all boils down to, ball tires in the rain, they all have bad character on that side. Okay. Nothing that I'm going to read. It's all good. It's all been done for entertainment and theatrics. And that's what they've always said. They've always said, I'm an entertainment channel. Another thing that I'm hearing, right? Another thing that I'm hearing. Let's debunk one more thing here. There are people, lots of people over there. They're so triggered. They're trying to find everything they can to try to throw me off guard or to just throw me off because they know my filings have been impeccable, like a 10-plus year attorney. And I'm not just saying that to be cocky. My filings have been impeccable. And I'm ready for January 9th, right? But a lot of people have been saying, oh, what was that? I forgot. Give me a second. I'll remember it, right? Oh, God, I forgot what I was going to say. It was very, very important. It just slipped my mind. Let me think about it for a second. Give me a second here. I cannot remember. If I remember, I'll talk about it towards the end here. I was talking about reckless disregard of the truth, malice, intent. And it popped in my head, and I'm trying to remember it here. I think your impersonation is better, Ella. I'm starving. Feed me, says ODN. Debunking a rumor. Let me see here. Give me just a second. Give me a second. Yeah, I totally forgot. It was very important too. I'll say another thing here tonight. I'm not going to be talking about this every day. If there's an update, I'll talk about it. If not, we'll talk about other things. But I'm keeping my audience up to date, and I'm also, using this as educational content because everyone can learn from this, right? And I'm presenting this in a respectful way, not even mentioning names, right? This is about procedures and situations, right? No better situation to talk about than your own, right? That you're learning and you've learned, right? You're learning in real time and you've learned in the past, right? But I'll put this out there one more time today because today was crickets from the defendant on this community wall. Except for another stream he has going on his pop culture channel. Good for him if he wants to pivot and do that and stop the smear campaign and all that. That'd be great, right? But here's the thing: the damage has already been done. This is 6+ years of damage, right? And this is not something that I can just walk away from, right? And I'll say this again tonight, like I said yesterday. I'm ready for January 9th. I'm also ready for the February 3rd hearing that's been scheduled almost a month after the January 9th anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss hearing, which there's no judge or judicial assistant that's going to schedule a hearing almost a month after a motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP hearing if they were thinking the entire case was going to be wiped out and be dismissed. They would not waste judicial resources like that are already very tight. I know it. He knows it. Everyone on his side knows it. Regardless of how people, want to talk about it, whatever. That's the truth of the matter, right? So here's the thing. I'm going to say this again tonight. Right now and before that hearing, is the best deal you're going to get on any settlement. That settlement will include money. Won't tell you the amount right now, but it's going to be a good amount. And it's also going to include one-way conduct terms to hold you accountable for the rest of your life where the court retains jurisdiction. And yes, look it up. It's all perfectly legal, and that's how these conduct orders are done, right? Everybody is ODN according to the people. Yeah, right. One-way conduct terms. And it's going to involve a bunch of stuff. Now, what these conduct terms don't mean, you can talk about me, you just can't defame me. You can talk about me, you just can't exploit me or defame me anymore. But you can certainly talk about me all you want. You can insult me all you want. But if you exploit my name and likeness, or defame me, or continue to smear me, then every instance will be right back in court, and it'll cost you $15,000. So one-way conduct terms, that's a brief snippet of what the conduct terms will be, plus a decent amount of money, which right now at this point is going to be the lowest amount I'd be willing to settle for. And it's still a good amount. But like I said yesterday, and I'll say the same thing again today, that if you wait to try to settle with me until after the anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss is over and we move to discovery, if you're thinking you're going to get my case obliterated outright, and that's why you don't want to even settle now, I can understand that. But what are your chances of that happening based on what's happened, right? Based on my evidence compared to yours, based on your malice behavior and reckless disregard of the truth, right? And continuing amplification of criminal accusations that never happened. Once we enter discovery and my case survives your motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP, that already decent monetary number right now, which I won't tell you what it is, on top of the conduct terms, that number will automatically at least double. And if we hit discovery, like I told you, the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to send you an email with interrogatories to identify people that have been slandering me in your chat. You'll have 30 days to respond. You probably won't respond, or I'm thinking you'll probably tell me to F off, right? Number two, if that doesn't happen, I will file a motion to compel production of evidence to the judge. The judge will order you to do it. If you don't do that, you may be held in contempt or something else. If that fails, then I have enough at that point to go to the judge, Judge Stacy, and ask her for a court order subpoena to YouTube, Google, Discord, Gmail, and other platforms where I know actually that you have slandered or been plotting to slander me, right? So, in my opinion, that's why you feel you're boxed in. You are. I mean, I'm not here to pick on anyone or anything like that. I'm here to state the facts. The bottom line is you're boxed in. What are your options? You can settle. It's going to cost you a good amount of money now, and accept also one-way conduct terms. You can settle for the lowest amount of money, which is still going to be a decent amount of money at this point right now. But once we enter discovery, guess what happens to leverage? Shoots up through the roof. What you and your people are fearing is discovery, unmasking sock accounts, emails, discords, private messages, and you're trying to lead people to believe that court orders don't get granted for that. They have. You have to have solid evidence, which I do. You want to roll the dice on that? You guys fear discovery, all of you, right? So this is going to be your choice. Once you're putting all your stock in the motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP. You're saying, I pray to God, even though you don't believe in God, I believe. I think that's what you said. I think you don't believe in God. I don't know. That's my opinion. But you're praying to some higher power that somehow my whole case gets wiped out, because if it doesn't, and you haven't settled by that point, you're going to have a very expensive settlement plus one-way conduct terms, or we start opening up discovery, unmasking SOC accounts. Some of them could possibly be you. I'm not saying they are. They could be, right? And your whole entire enterprise is opened up to that. You don't want that. You don't want that for yourself. You're going to be conflicted between paying me double the money that I would want now as a settlement and one-way conduct terms to avoid discovery, or paying half of that now for the same thing, and this thing all goes away, and then finally this whole thing ends. That's called being boxed in. And I'm just stating facts. I'm not here to be disrespectful. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm not calling you names. I'm just saying you're boxed in, right? You're at the point right now where, here's the thing. I think, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with this. I think that the defendant never thought I could handle this like a real litigator, like a real attorney. And the fact that I handled my filings perfectly, I didn't let him or other people in his group wear me down, and effectively, the way I filed it compared to what he's filed, he's now boxed in. He's not only boxed in because either he's going to have to pay me a lot of money and he's going to have to agree to one-way conduct terms. Either he does that cheaper now, or he pays more once we reach discovery, so he avoids discovery. Boy, that's got to be weighing on you, huh? That's got to be weighing on him, right? If you were a defendant in his situation, where you're facing discovery that could unmask a lot more than you want unmasked, right? And now you've got a chance to settle for half the amount of money I would want at that point, right? With one-way conduct terms as well, right? If you were in his shoes right now, how would you feel, right? You don't have to settle. I'm throwing it out there. I'm trying to be reasonable here. I don't feel comfortable talking to this guy. I don't trust him. The only emails I send him are actual emails that are required by the court. Things I've had to serve you, preservation notices, asking you to stop republishing false statements as facts, etc. I would have settled when you offered not to pay any money and just go our own separate ways. And the fact that he didn't settle, then this is going to speak volumes to the judge. Right. He had an opportunity 2 months ago to settle with no money, one-way conduct terms. He didn't do it. I think I put a 1 in the chat if you think he is putting his whole entire stake into that motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP. He is praying to some higher power that somehow wipes out the case, right? Attorney or not, even if he has an attorney, it doesn't matter. He's praying, right? The likelihood of that is very slim to none. There's so much proof on the docket. So much more proof now of a constant ongoing smear campaign. And there will be more proof coming soon. Because I'm sure he's going to overreact again soon. Oh, and by the way, you know what? I'll save this for another time. I'm not gonna say something else, but there's more that happened. I think that's enough for today. We are at 80 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to start wrapping this up in a few. Get your final questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in a few minutes. Hope for a miracle, but don't depend on one. Happy Monday. Have a great week. Thank you, babe. Respectfully, maturely, professionally. Ball tires in the rain. You can tell he's extremely nervous about the case. Of course, he's been kind of stuttering his words in this stream. He knows he's boxed in. He knows I played my cards right. He knows that the court can and will hold him accountable, right? He's never been held accountable for anything in his life, right? And for the first time in his life after 40 years, not even his parents have held him accountable for anything ever. That's, in my opinion, that's a big part of the problem, right? For the first time in 40 years, he's facing the wrath of finally accepting responsibility for his actions. He's going to be forced legally into accepting responsibility. And heck, you want to know something? Part of my settlement offer might include a public apology, and you can do that. I've seen other. They did that. They did that to Pedro. In his case, right? Part of it will include a sincere public apology and a statement for everyone to back off. I'm so glad I put my gloves on. My hands are nice and warm. It's like 53 degrees out here. Looking forward to going home and spending some time with the lady, my lady Dawn, my lovely lady Dawn, and our dogs. Our dogs, they don't like the cold weather or rainy weather. They're so acclimated to being indoors. It's okay. I love those dogs like children. Sometimes, like I've said, if Dawn goes to bed a little bit before me, and I'll watch a little bit more TV, I'm right there with the big dog, and she's got the little dog next to her. The big dog hangs out with me. And we become really good buddies, the big dog and I. Like, I love the little dog too, don't get me wrong. Oh, that's a rat. That rat went underneath there. It reminds me of a famous line from the show White Collar. If you guys get a chance, check out Code 3. Have a good night. We will eventually get to that. Please hit the thumbs up if you wish. It's much appreciated. Good night, all, says Tia. So, what do you call it? Neil Caffrey, who was Peter Burke's agent, FBI agent Peter Burke's criminal informant CI, went underground to try to take down the largest, group, like a terror group or something like that, right? The largest group of theft, a theft ring, okay? And the leader, there was something that happened, and it was Neil Caffrey that did it, but he had to convince the leader it wasn't him, or else the leader would have killed Neil Caffrey, right? when Neil Caffrey was asked by the leader, "Are you the snitch?" Nope, I'm not a snitch, because the only thing worse than a snitch is a rat, right? Like, I'm gonna. You ever hear the phrase "rat on you"? Right? I'm gonna rat you out, right? You don't hear it that much anymore, but that used to be popular, like in the '80s and shit like that, right? But I'm just saying, hey, Gordo says, my friend made me a talking video of Ronnie telling a joke. It's on this channel. Oh, okay, wonderful. We'll check it out. Thank you for making us aware. It's almost like this group this defendant runs has been led to believe that if they're like a snitch or a rat and tell the truth about what's going on, like, he's gonna, like, chastise them, and he does. Oh, and one more thing. There are a few specific people that have been around for a long time. I think I was mentioning this earlier, but I'll say it again. There are some people like that I know their real names and I have their information, right? If you continue to get triggered from me sharing the truth here and asking you folks to stop amplifying the defamation, the embezzlement thing, none of that is true. If you continue to do that, you will definitely be implicated in this case one way or another. And any judgment that is made or settlement that is made is also going to include third parties. So this is going to stem to third parties as well. And what that's going to mean is that if the third parties continue to do things to amplify what the defendant has been putting out, then the defendant and I will be right back in court, and you'll probably be in court with us as well. Because when you settle or the judge grants you a protective order and you ask and you're granted jurisdiction, stays with the court lifetime, that's what you're entitled to. You go back to court when these issues, when the protective order is violated, and that also includes third party. So, in these cases, people know that a lot of times it's not just one person, the main person, it's people acting in concert, right? All right, 88 minutes. 88 miles per hour! I was like 11, almost like 12 years old when Back to the Future came out. So other people, like the millennials that are really into Back to the Future, they were like 1 year old or not even born when the movie came out. I saw it originally when it came out in the movie theater in 1985. We used to have this theater called UA6, United Artists. I don't even know if UA exists anymore. They used to be a pretty major company back then. I think the other option, the other movie I saw during that time, I think was European Vacation. National Lampoon's European Vacation with Chevy Chase. Oh, well, he wants me to pay him $50K for 6 years of unpaid advertising? Or, Louisiana man, did you finally get another way to verify another sock account and you just wanted to come in and put that out there one last time. If he thinks I've wronged him, he can countersue. But that would mean the case would survive the motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP. He can countersue me. He'd have to pay the fee and respond to my complaint and then file a separate complaint. Right? He can do that if he wants. He can countersue me. But I think the damage has been done already. And you know what, Louisiana man, I don't know why you're so triggered. This doesn't even involve... See, here's the thing. Let me ask you folks one more thing while we're still here. Why is Louisiana man so triggered when this doesn't involve him? It doesn't involve him at all. I think Louisiana man just wants to do whatever he can to stunt my growth. And if the defendant in my case is held accountable, Louisiana man knows that a lot of this is just going to fall apart, right? Is that what it is, Louisiana man? Because Louisiana man, I can sue you next, and I've got plenty on you, especially with that letter you sent to my lady. And then you tried to, write your chicken scratch, and you try to make it sound like it was coming from your wife, and then you used your wife's return address label on it. That was really, really a dumb thing to do, Louisiana man. If you want to keep playing, Louisiana man, that's all good. Whatever. If I need to deal with you legally next, I will. But I probably won't have to, Louisiana man, because once I'm done with this case, I mean, what kind of support are you going to have? You're actually, Louisiana man, you're considered third party. You're automatically considered third party. You're an amplifier. He's mad because you didn't like his chocolates. Right. I didn't like his chocolate pee-pee. Right? Or his glitter bomb. Or his letter that he wrote in his own chicken scratch, trying to pretend it's his wife, and sent it to Dawn. I think that letter is still within the statute of limitations. It is. It absolutely is. I could have a handwriting analysis, or a handwriting analyst, analyze that. Well, you use your own wife's return address label. Why would you do such a dumb thing? I mean, what if we reached out to your wife and asked her and told her that you did that? Right? We'd subpoena your wife and ask her, were you aware that your husband was impersonating you to harass my girlfriend and myself over YouTube stuff, and he used your return address label? Because I know your wife would probably never do something. She would never do something like that, right? So yeah, I mean, if you want to come in here and say, hey, yeah, the defendant wants $50K for free advertisement for the last 6+ years, that's not going to work. He's not going to settle. That's fine. He'll either settle once we hit discovery. So once we hit discovery, he'll either settle, or his whole entire organization is going to be exposed during discovery. Everything. And this is going to be, this is going to bring everything to the forefront. Think about it. You can laugh about it all you want. January 9th is coming sooner than you think. I got to go. 94 minutes, an hour and 34 minutes, 40 in the box. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.